Imagine you've fought for 3 days through one of the most brutal rallies of the season. You've survived attrition, watched your rivals crash out, inherited a commanding lead, and now, going into the very last stage of the rally, you've got a 75-second cushion. 75 seconds. That's not a lead, that's a fortress. And then you throw it all away. In 14.2 kilometers on the final stage. That is exactly what happened to Thierry Neuville at the 2026 WRC Croatia Rally. And honestly, it's becoming a pattern that Hyundai fans can't afford to ignore anymore. Let's rewind to Friday, April 10th, 2026, Round 4 of the World Rally Championship. Croatia is back on the calendar after missing the entire 2025 season, and it's the first pure asphalt rally of the year. Tight mountain roads, Adriatic coastal passes, and absolutely unforgiving concrete barriers lining every corner. Right from the opening stage, the rally turned into a demolition derby. Championship leader Elfyn Evans misjudged a tight right-hander in what appeared to be a confusion over a pace note, sending his car off the road. Only his second retirement since Greece 2024. And Evans wasn't alone. Oliver Solberg, the Monte Carlo winner and joint championship favorite, went off the road just 4.8 kilometers into the opening stage after clipping a rock face. Just like that, the two biggest names in the 2026 championship were out before lunch on Friday. That opened the door wide for Toyota's young Finn, Sami Pajari. Pajari took a 13.7-second lead over Neuville into Saturday, controlling the rally as the 24-year-old searched for a maiden WRC win. Meanwhile, Neuville was staying patient, staying clean, and waiting for his moment. That moment came on Saturday afternoon, and it came in the most chaotic way possible. The rally was turned on its head during the second pass through the Generalski Stole, Stihovo test. Drivers declared the stage was more like a gravel rally given the amount of dirt and rocks strewn all over the surface. Surviving the extreme conditions became a lottery. Leader Pajari, Katsuta, Padden, and the M-Sport Ford duo all picked up punctures. Of the quintet, Pajari was forced to stop and change a wheel, costing the Finn more than 2 minutes and the rally lead. Neuville managed to navigate through without issue, and with his rivals all delayed, he emerged with a commanding 1 minute 15.9-second lead. And there it was, the fortress. Knowing the importance of a victory for both himself and the motivation for the Hyundai team, Neuville cruised through the remaining Sunday stages rather than fight for Super Sunday points. He was nursing at home. Just one stage left. Just one stage. The Wolf Power stage, Alan, Senji 2, 14.2 kilometers along the Croatian Adriatic coast. Neuville had looked set to take Hyundai Motorsport's first win of the 2026 season, carrying a lead of more than 1 minute into the final stage. But his hopes were shattered when he slid wide on loose gravel at a fork in the road, took to an escape road, and struck a concrete block, damaging the front right suspension of his i20N Rally 1. And here's the detail that makes it even worse. That concrete block was actually the base of a road sign knocked down by a car that ran off earlier in the same stage. Had the sign not fallen, the junction would have looked very different. Less like an escape route, more like what it was. Neuville was traveling at around 94 kilometers per hour when he turned in. Takamoto Katsuta, who ended up winning the stage, was doing just 79 kilometers per hour at that exact same point. The entry speed was simply too high. He picked up understeer, and from that moment his fate was more or less sealed. He attempted to keep moving, but was losing so much time that he parked up near the finish, having been radioed by the team to stop. He worked on the car for almost 20 minutes, then crawled to the finish line, some 21 minutes and 28.8 seconds slower than the fastest stage time. 21 minutes. He had a 75-second lead going in. Katsuta and Johnston had started that final stage 75 seconds behind Neuville, yet emerged 14.5 kilometers later as winners for the second rally in succession. A confused Katsuta was literally told at his finish line interview, in real time, that he'd won. He had absolutely no idea. "I can only say sorry to everyone involved," Neuville said. "I have no explanation at the moment. This cannot happen. I got understeer and immediately opened the wheel and was afraid to slide, and we touched something with the wheel and more damage occurred after." That word, afraid. That tells you everything about the pressure these drivers carry when they're protecting a lead. Now look, accidents happen in rally. But here's what makes this so much bigger than one bad corner. Hyundai's search to end a winless run, stretching all the way back to Neuville's victory at last November's 2025 season-closing Rally Saudi Arabia, goes on. Every single rally of 2026 so far. 0 wins. Toyota has won all 4 rounds. After Croatia, Neuville sits 7th in the Drivers' Championship with just 25 points, while Katsuta leads with 81. 7th. The reigning 2024 world champion is 7th in the standings, and the team boss wasn't holding back. What we do in the next week will determine what we do in the next 6 months, said Hyundai sporting director Andrew Wheatley. Being 1 minute in front is probably as stressful as being 5 seconds behind, maybe even more difficult because you have to protect the lead. There was gravel on the road, and he was trying to be so careful that it actually became more complicated. That's not just a rally story. That's a deeply human one. Katsuta now leads the championship with back-to-back wins. Evans is chasing him down. Solberg, despite crashing on Friday, swept the Super Sunday points. These Toyotas are absolutely relentless in 2026. For Neuville, the next chance comes at the Canary Islands, Round 5, an all-asphalt event running April 23rd to 26th. Asphalt is exactly where the Hyundai i20N should be competitive. Croatia proved he had the pace. 3 days of clean, controlled, dominant driving. He had everything. Everything except that final corner. And that's the brutal, beautiful, utterly unfair thing about this sport. You can be perfect for 19 stages, survive chaos that eliminates everyone around you, cruise through Sunday morning with a minute in hand. And then one patch of gravel, one concrete block, one moment of instinct at 94 kilometers per hour takes the whole thing away. Neuville will be back. Nobody doubts that. But Hyundai need results fast before this championship turns into a Toyota coronation. The Canary Islands are next. Will he finally get it done? Drop your prediction in the comments below.